And welcome to another episode of NBA Central. This is your daily prediction show with Big Bro and Steve-O. And we got the Cognac gang in the building. Bobby and C-Dub. Yesterday we had two blowout games. Man, I mean, both of them got blew out. And then tonight we got two pivotal game 4 matchups. We're going to talk about all of that right after this.
Welcome to the number one place for your daily basketball news and analysis, NBA Central.
Well, good morning, gentlemen. Man, it's good to have the hope most of the game. We expected Hayes, but he be having like 17,000 different things to do. So we gonna, but it's all good. Y'all already know how I go over here. We talk about the games from yesterday. We're gonna talk about the games for tonight. But first and foremost, go ahead and hit us up at NBA Central Show at gmail.com if you like what you're hearing and seeing. Hit that like button, that subscribe button. We appreciate y'all. We're gonna get right into it, gentlemen. The Miami Heat defeat the New York Knickerbockers 105-86. Bam and Jimmy Butler took care of business defensively, y'all. How did y'all feel about that game yesterday? It was a wire-to-wire win, too. New York didn't have a chance.
Hey, man, it's this thing is all about Jimmy Butler, bro. Jimmy Butler is not human, bro. He got to be like the Terminator or some kind of cyborg. The man just rolled his ankle a couple of days ago, then get in this game, and they couldn't do nothing with him, bro. He didn't have an unbelievable game of 40 points or 50 points, but he dominated the game defensively, and he scored about close to 30 points. And the dude doing double clutch backwards dunks after a fucking, excuse the language, after a rolled ankle. The Knicks are done. It ain't looking good. I don't think they have an answer for Jimmy Butler, but it ain't looking good, bro.
So you saying the Knicks done? I mean, they look bad, bro. They shot terribly yesterday. They missed 60 shots. 60 shots, bro. That's terrible.
35 for 90, bro.
31 for 91, and then they were 8 for 40. 8 for 40 from 3. And then they were and then they didn't even put D Rose in, bro. To make it matters worse.
Free D Rose, bro.
It could be 3-0, right? It's supposed to be 3-0 because they almost lost that game with Jimmy Butler didn't play.
Yep. That's true.
And the main thing is they weren't making their free throws either.
The whole gang here. What's up, Drip?
What's goody?
What's the word?
Yeah, so like, if anything, the silver lining in this situation is that Miami didn't shoot well either. Like, they shot terribly yesterday as well. This was a defensive battle, and when this matchup came across the wire, we knew that it was going to be like a 1990s playoff matchup, and that's what it's turning out to be. Because Miami shot 38%, 20% from three, but they did shoot 31 free throws and only missed 3, and that's about the difference in the game. Other than that, this is still a pretty evenly matched series, even though Miami has taken a 2-1 lead.
I think it's evenly matched. No, go ahead, nephew. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say I think that the game, it was a blowout, but I still think that the Knicks still got a fighting chance because I think that they still match up well. It's just that the Miami Heat, man, they built different. They built different. You got a lot of guys over there with chips on their shoulders. You got a lot of guys that got something to prove. And after they lost that game in Atlanta, that play in, they've been on a roll and scary. So
it's almost like they lost that game on purpose because they didn't want to play Boston in the first round.
Probably.
What you think, Steve-O? What you think about the game yesterday?
Like y'all iterated before, they didn't shoot well, and that's the crazy thing. They both didn't shoot well, but I think it was just minor key things. Like Miami just capitalized those turnovers. They had 16 points off turnovers. New York only had 9. New York missed their free throws. Miami made theirs for the most part. So it's just games of inches, and they lost. So you got to get it together.
The X factor showed up. And Brunson and Julius Randle both struggled mightily yesterday offensively. But on Miami side, you had Strus. Wasn't it Max Strus did his thing? And then you also had Kyle Lowry that did his thing as well. And
Strus had 19, Lowry had 14.
And that right there is another difference in the game. So the game of the night, though, guys, this was ridiculous. A laugher in LA. The Lakers annihilated the Golden State Warriors 127-97. And it made me think about AD and LeBron led the way again. It made me think about yesterday's conversation that you guys had about Anthony Davis and the impact that he has on this series. It's one game on, one game off. He had his game off in game 2. And here we are last night. Anthony Davis pretty much dominating the game. He only took 10 shots, but he still dominated the game. Hayes, what'd you think of the Lakers and Golden State game last night?
Man, listen, that game, once Draymond got his 5th foul with like 6 minutes left in the 3rd quarter, it was like, yeah, that's it. Like, shout out to Kevon Looney, who tried to do his thing defensively, but like Draymond was really the only deterrent on that Golden State team. And if once he went out with that 5th foul, and then like they crumbled all the take fouls and the flagrants and shit, like they completely just let that game slip away. And let me not say let it slip away, because the Lakers also took that. AD and LeBron played like the 2 best players on the court in the second half of that game.
Yeah, you had a situation late in the 2nd quarter where JaMychal Green and Draymond Green got technical fouls. There were turnovers, and an 11-point lead for the Golden State Warriors turned into a 30-8 run to end the first half for the Lakers. And then you had D'Angelo Russell going crazy. I think he had 21 points in the first half. And LeBron didn't even take a shot until 8 minutes ago in the 2nd quarter. That's big, because we talked about this yesterday, the importance of LeBron not being the go-to offensive guy, but more so being a facilitator and letting AD and the others get going. How did you guys feel about what LeBron was able to accomplish yesterday?
Man, LeBron James needs to be tested, because he's like 58 years old. He shouldn't be jumping over people in the crowd and hustling and getting back on defense like that. This is like amazing, dude. And I'm not the biggest LeBron fan, but you just got to applaud the effort that this guy put inside the game. And then if AD plays like this, ain't nobody beating the Lakers. I'm just saying, you can't. He's just the best defensive player in the last 20 years. I'm just going to say it.
Well, because AD, that's really what he affected the game offensively really well, but defensively, it kind of goes unsung what he does with his lateral movement, cutting off the lanes, just being an irritant out there for Golden State. And man, yeah, Golden State just for yesterday, y'all. What's going on with Jordan Poole? Because if you're not getting nothing from Klay Thompson, it's really just Steph Curry and everybody else out there.
Yeah, it just
that's what happens when you go on a 500,000 date with Ice Spice. The man ain't right. He's still recovering, bro. Like, he's still recovering. Half that man's soul is gone, bro. Like, he still got to recover that back, bro. Like,
I did not know that.
Yeah,
no, he did.
On a date. 500,000 in one night, bro. That he must be nice, bro.
Hey, you know, Lil Wayne changed the game when he said it ain't tricking if you got it. You dig?
He lied.
He lied for sure.
But that's really just what it is, though. Like, if they got one plan, it goes. They got one plan. If that plan don't work, they gonna shoot it out till it start working, and that's what they tried to do, and it just didn't work. Mm-hmm. And I feel like the Lakers did a way better game plan of trying to deny Curry instead of letting him get the ball and move around how he wants to. They started not really sitting doubles. They did at certain points, but they just did a nice part of denying him. And shout out to the Lakers for listening and going back to game 1 game plan. Get to the lane.
I think
get to the lane.
On I think it was still good on what they did, because they noticed Darvin Ham. He noticed Troy Brown ain't been giving you nothing all series. Let me go ahead and get Lonnie Walker some more minutes and do that. And Anthony Davis, shout out to you for showing up, because now after going over 20 points again, now the Lakers are 19-5. So you gotta keep putting numbers up in the box score, and they showed up. Now they gotta be ready for a desperate Warriors team that can shoot the lights out in game 4.
Yeah, this is the first game in the series where Golden State didn't shoot really, really well. They didn't hit 23s. They did in the first 2 games. And then also the Lakers shot 40 free throws. 40 free throws. So
Sheesh.
you know the conspiracy theories are out. I think it was really 39, but people are out there saying that the referees want the Lakers to go to the finals, this, that, and the other. I just feel like it's exactly what we've been saying on here. Everybody's got to be aggressive and attack the basket. They've been doing it all season. They led the league in free throws, and they didn't do it in game 2. They did it in game 3. Now, last question on this one. Win or lose, is Draymond done in Golden State regardless? Because honestly, that's when the wheels fell off in this game yesterday, was when Draymond had another Draymond temper tantrum moment, and it led to all types of technicals and so on and so forth. And Golden State simply couldn't recover from that when they fell off the rails. Who wants to take this one? Anybody?
Go ahead.
I think that's a bit unfair because Draymond, Poole, JaMychal Green, and Clay all got texts in that same stretch. Like, so it wasn't like the Lakers were in all those players' heads. Now, I think everyone's asking about it. Draymond's coming back. Is he going to come back? I think people are forgetting Draymond has a player option. So if he doesn't feel like he's going to get that money on the free agent market, he's absolutely going to come back. It's not a team option. He decides that, and to opt out of a $27 million contract when there's all these questions around you would be crazy. Draymond ain't going nowhere.
For sure.
Oh, that's correct. He'll be a fool to not opt into that player option because he ain't getting that money again. I know. And I'm gonna have to say this. I noticed what he is the value to Draymond Green to the Golden
Wait a minute.
State.
Hold on.
Hold up.
Say it again.
No, I'm not saying it again. That's all you get. He made some great passes. I don't know if too many people can make those passes in the game that he made in this series. So I'm gonna give him that, but I still don't like him with this team. I think you know what I'm saying? He done.
Yeah, I think he's staying there. This is the best team for him to be on. It's fit for him. It's just any other way, he's gonna be fighting to stay in the league.
Yeah. Damn. Yes.
I mean, just be honest. You for players like him, you gotta be in a certain system, and that system is almost tailored around him. So
that was perfect right there.
Agreed, definitely. And just one last point. Hey, y'all grown men, y'all shouldn't be that's speaking to the other Warriors. How you get a tech sitting on the bench because you want to sit next to Draymond, JaMychal Green, you want to sit there and let another man geek you up to where you getting a technical foul? Come on, bro. Be a man about it. Let bro get his text by himself. Chill out, bro. Because y'all
Lead,
really
not
ruined
follow.
the game. No, bro.
That is true.
And a game that was supposed to be good.
And honestly, you're talking about the defending NBA champions out there looking like the Detroit Pistons. They bogus for that.
Damn.
They bogus.
Damn, Kev.
Did you not? They lost by 30, bro. They lost by 30 in a playoff game. That was a winnable game that they had a double-digit lead in. I can't accept that. All right, moving on to tonight. I know it does happen, but the way it happened was more mental than basketball. You get what I'm saying? Like it wasn't basketball for me.
Yeah, like as a champion, you shouldn't be responding that way.
Okay.
That's true. All right, so tonight, y'all already know how we do right here on NBA Central. We trying to figure out who gonna get this game. Game 4 in Boston. I mean, it's in Philly. MVP.
Tell us about James, Steve-O.
I say this.
Like I told you.
Hold on, I say this. Joel Embiid has to have the game of his life tonight. It's not just about James Harden or Tyrese Maxey or any of those guys. Tonight's game, I need to see Joel Embiid put up numbers, 40 and 20 with 3 blocks and 6 assists and a steal type of stuff. But go ahead, guys.
Yeah, bro. I think it's done. Embiid not good. He hurt. So he Embiid not Embiid. Like I've never seen that man. I think it's to the point the knee is bothering so bad that every time he's willing to hit the floor, so he won't put all his pressure on his knee.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen that man hit the floor that much as many times I've seen him do it last game. I think the series over, to be honest. Boston had that wake up call ever since then. They've been shooting the lights out. Everybody's aggressive. They've been playing defense like they're supposed to. It's done, bro. Harden had his game. The juice meter is up. The breakdancing music is done. It's over with.
I was waiting for it.
It's gone. It's done. So it's time. It's time to go on. He talking about he going to Houston. Bye bye. Going back. That's stupid. But go ahead. It just gonna take, like you said, it's gonna take a Joel Embiid performance. But I just don't think he's healthy enough to give you that.
What about Tyrese Maxey? Like, is he gonna give us anything today?
He could give you whatever he want, but it probably won't be enough.
James Harden need to get out the way. I really want him to leave so Tyrese Maxey can legit take the number 2 slot, bro. Because I think, like, when we talk about players, you know what I'm saying, kind of holding people back, I think James Harden need to get out the way and let Tyrese Maxey do his thing. And I also think that it might be time for Doc to get the hell out of there too.
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday. Doc Rivers is.
I'm with you, Steve-O. This is over.
It's done.
So both of y'all picking Boston to win tonight, then?
Yes, in convincing fashion. It's gonna be very convincing.
Like, bro, you don't sit there and win an MVP, and then they went like 10-2 run in like 2 minutes. I'm like, yeah, and they just didn't. They couldn't get close after that. The whole game, they were struggling to catch up the whole game.
Yeah, they didn't really feed off the crowd.
Boston is really good, but y'all supposed to be really good too.
That's true. But here we go with another second round exit looking like for Philly. What you got? Who you got winning tonight? C-Dub.
Give me Philly. I'm gonna take Philly. Look for a big game from James Harden. I think he was cutting. Hey, he was caught in the middle. Yeah, he didn't know if he was to attack or he was to play through Embiid. I think they see that Embiid can't be his whole self. I think you're gonna see Houston James Harden today for sure.
Well, we definitely can't have the indecisive James Harden that we had in the last one. Yeah, and who you got, Hayes?
Listen, the only way I trust that we're going to see Houston James Harden again is if my boy been fasting for 12 hours before the game. This shit
he was stopped the last game, Hayes.
That shit ain't happening, bro. Like,
it's
not happening.
Hey, y'all see that?
Like, have you ever seen an NBA player that be bloated as much as James Harden? Like, literally, every other game the dude bloated, bro. Like, I swear to God, you trying to tell us?
I promise you, bro. After that game, he scored 40. That they showed him working out in the locker room after the game. He just on the floor talking about something. I'm like, man, what you doing, Pilates? Boy, you need to be doing weightlifting. What are you doing?
Oh, so
like, don't get me wrong. I love the game that we got from James Harden. I'm glad that he was able to put on a performance like that at least once in this playoff series. But am I betting on that shit happening again? Hell no. Boston about to try to come in and they finna try to snatch this game so they can go ahead and finish it back off at home.
And here's the thing. It wasn't just this series. I think that's the first time he did that in his history of his playoff experience. Period. I don't think James.
No, he did. He did it in the game against Portland. It's just that Dame Lillard hit an amazing shot to win that. That was that game against Portland when Dame hit that last second 3-point shot, that one-legged 3-point shot years and years ago, was the best playoff game I have ever seen James Harden play in my life. They just couldn't come out with the win.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna go with Philly tonight, just because I'm a proponent of 7-game series, and I love to see 7-game series in the playoffs, especially when my team is not involved. So it's more of an emotional pick. I don't think Philly's gonna win. I'm just gonna say that they are. Just try to put that energy out there so we can get more basketball.
I can't be trying to will in some game sevens. I promise you.
All right. So now, listen, out west. Denver versus Phoenix. First 2 games, it looked like Denver was going to go ahead and sweep these boys, especially after CP3 went down. We kind of anticipated a huge game from both KD and Booker in game 3. Will they be able to have a repeat performance and carry these guys to another victory tonight, or does Denver put them in a 3-1 hole? Let's hear what you got to say about this first, Hayes.
Man, the thing is that I want to pick Denver in this game. Denver has looked so good in these playoffs for once, and me and Steve talked about it earlier in the show's history, like how important it is for Jokic to just have a dominant playoff series, get to a finals, win a finals, hopefully. But here's the thing. Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, when they get into rhythm, that's a hard duo for anybody to stop. And all they need is DeAndre Ayton to give them a little something, bro. Like act like you're there in the building. Like that's what you need if DeAndre Ayton gives them anything, they blow Denver out the water in this game. Now, if they don't, the balanced attack from Denver, especially when Murray has been looking as good as he has in some of these playoff games, and if MPJ scoring as well, all right, they can punch with anybody. But I just look at that Devin Booker, Kevin Durant matchup, and I'm looking at Denver, and I'm like, these guys really have nobody that can stop them. They can score with them, but they can't stop them and save their life. They best bet is to hope that Phoenix has a off shooting night. That's
perfect. And Kevin Durant missed a lot of shots last game, and he dropped 39. They don't have a chance if these two guys go. But I want to key on two people, DeAndre Ayton and Cameron Payne. Played well that last game, pushing the ball up court.
Yes.
He ain't got to be Chris Paul, but he got to do exactly what he did last game. Push the ball and get the ball to the scores. DeAndre Ayton. Can we just get 10 and 10? And that ain't no crying in basketball, bro. It ain't no crying. You can't be on the bench crying, bro.
Definitely doing some crying.
Bro, we seen you, bro. We seen you, bro. Ain't no crying on the bench, bro.
Who you got?
Give me Phoenix for sure.
That's who
you
I'm
got
gonna
Phoenix
go with.
tonight.
I'm gonna go with Phoenix as well. I think that Cameron Payne pushing the pace like that gives the Phoenix Suns a different element. We love Chris Paul, but he slows down the pace. I think Cameron Payne increasing the tempo, bringing up the ball a lot faster, definitely gives the Phoenix Suns a different element to operate. And I still think that both of the two lethal scorers is going over 30 again. So give me Phoenix.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm picking Denver.
Okay.
And the only reason I'm picking Denver is because Devin Booker has yet to have a game where he just been off.
He ain't.
And if you gonna tell me this man is just gonna have a Kobe performance for the rest of this doggone series, I'm gonna choose the latter. I don't trust it. So I'm just expecting one of these players is not to have the best game today. Because they just have it.
Can I ask you a question, Steve? What do you see that you don't trust? What did you see that you don't trust? That this can happen each game.
If you just pay attention to Devin Booker, he just bound to have it. Like almost everybody just bound to have a bad game, and they just been hot since the series, like since the last series. So
yeah,
I just expect that fire to go out for at least once.
I feel you.
Okay.
Yeah, really. It's not really. I don't.
Gotcha. Yeah. So you basically just hating on Devin Booker right now.
Basically.
I'm not hating at all. I'm just saying, like, the man been killing. Like,
he get into his spot, Steve.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm just it's one game. You're just expecting not for no spots to hit.
No, I'm messing with you. I totally get where you're coming from. Because even if there's no Devin Booker on that team, Kevin Durant was having the type of game that you're talking about prior to when he got to the free throw line and started attacking the basket. He was 1 for 9. So everybody starts off, can have a bad game. LeBron had a couple. Klay Thompson just had one last night. So I definitely see what you're talking about.
Honestly, I just honestly believe that they might switch the defensive focus majority on Devin and rather let KD go off. Because because if you really been paying attention to this series, the way KD been going off ain't been the typical KD way.
It ain't jumpers.
I'm definitely letting KD go 12 for 29 versus 20 for 25 with Devin Booker.
I agree with you on that one. They probably gonna double team Devin Booker off the bus today. So before I give my pick, we got MC season. I want to say mixed season again, but Hayes corrected me last time, said stop eating somewhere else McDonald's. But MC season said was good. Basketball fan, what's happening, Brody? Appreciate you this morning. Every time Steve-O says something is over, it ends up being a series, I think is what you're trying to say, Shay. So he's saying that it's not over for Boston. I mean, for Philly. And then MC Season said he just realized it's a star-studded panel today. Yes, sir. We appreciate the live weekend prediction shows. It's been pretty fun. Shay said it's definitely over for Phoenix because Devin Booker and Kevin Durant had to score over 30 for them to win. And then we got Brandon L. Jet, the general, in the building. Y'all already know. Salute the gang. He says, what's up? The whole gang is in the building. All right. So my prediction before we get up out of here is y'all already know I want Phoenix to win. These series got to go 7 games. I'm not trying to hear nothing else. Give me 7 games. We need it. Basketball season is coming to a close. And that's one of the most depressing times of the year. We start getting less and less games. I want these guys to give their all tonight. I do expect Kevin Durant and Devin Booker to play really well again. And I think DeAndre Ayton can hear the chatter. I mean, he's been hearing it for a point. But I think that he's going to come out and be at least a little bit aggressive. All right, I got to get back to work, so y'all know we about to wrap it up. Before we go, make sure y'all go ahead and follow all the other Central family if y'all haven't already. We got Chicago Bulls Central, Chicago Bears Central, Chicago White Sox and Chicago Cubs Central, Chicago Sky Central. Great episode yesterday, fellas, after the preseason.
Damn.
They came with snake cam back. You out here giving shout outs. You need to be hitting this clock. But y'all make sure y'all follow all the Central family, man. Make sure you guys go check out the Shy Bulls podcast as well with the Cognac Boys and they new intro, outro music. But we up out this bitch, man. We'll see you guys later on.
Peace.